Now, this is a very beautiful story, and we can meditate on Genesis, but it has its applications in our lives. We are still involved in this war. In the modern world, beginning with the French Revolution, lies were spoken. They were spoken at the Reformation. They were spoken again even more loudly at the Revolution. What the French Revolution was, and we are living in the age of that event, in the aftermath of that event. What that was essentially a war to redefine the meaning of words, to change the perspective we have on things. Why? Why would the revolutionaries in France want that? Well, because they're children of the devil, and we always have to remember that. It's just pure evil. And what did they do? Now, God in the beginning created the week, created the division of days. What is the first thing that the revolutionaries did in France? They scrapped the calendar. And they said there's no longer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now we have 10 days in the week. So you'll never know when to worship God. There is no day of rest. There is also, along with this, no longer 12 months. And the months are going to be named differently than you are used to. And we have different holidays. They eliminated the king, changed the government, outlawed God himself. Upon the high altar of Notre Dame Cathedral, they enthroned a woman of the street to mock God, and ordered that the people of the Republic worship the goddess of reason. That's a lie. There was no reason. It was illogical. And while this was going on, while these lies were being spread, the blood of thousands of Frenchmen, not simply the king and queen, but sometimes very humble people who were caught up in the wave of terror, shed their blood. While the lie was being spoken, men and women and children were dying, because the fruit of a lie is always death. You always have to remember that, because your apostolate is to bring life to your children. God has commanded you and given you the grace and the sacrament to bring life into the world, and then prepare that life for eternal life in heaven. Along with the French Revolution, we begin the age of materialism that was ushered in as a byproduct of the Enlightenment and things of that nature in the 19th century. The world changed in the 19th century. Before that, a man would work in the fields. Most men worked in the fields. We were mostly farmers. Our ancestors are mostly farmers. Or they engaged in a little bit of trade. But the work was meant to support the family. After that, we became heavily engaged in the commodity of human labor. And so, not simply the slaves that were taken from Africa, but everybody else was valued as a commodity, not as a subject of a kingdom, not as a citizen of a republic, but as a commodity. Now, God said about human beings, you are made in the image and likeness of God. That's what we are. Our value stems not from what we can produce, but from what we are. Beings made in the image and likeness of the Creator in a way that no other created being can be. But the lie is spread. And then we hear the horrors of the 19th century, the slums that were created, the health problems that were created in Europe. It was a horrible time to live because you could get caught up in all of this and be spewed out. Your value depended upon just how much you can produce for those who had wealth.